Hello, how are you today? Do you want to dive into a book that might just surprise you, whether it becomes your next favorite or one you might skip? Let's find out what readers are saying about it.
Courtney Townell, who has 12 likes, says, I received a free review copy from the publisher. Thank you so much. And I am sorry for how much of a hater I will sound in this review. Let me preface this by saying that I am a Wally Lamb lover. She's Come Undone and I Know This Much Is True are two books that truly shaped my early reading tastes as a teenager. That said, Lamb has not published a book in quite some time, and I fear that it feels like he feels awkward entering the current publishing landscape. This book follows Corby, a very average man who struggles with addiction and commits a horrible mistake that lands him in prison for 3 years. For the first third of this book, I was sad. We're in Corby's POV. It's emotional, but also I kept asking myself and other book friends, I can't tell if I am supposed to think this guy is likable because he kind of seems like an idiot, like it felt like we were supposed to empathize with him because of this terrible thing, but his character did not earn it. Corby acclimates to prison life and we are supposed to root for his redemption arc. I think the issue is that pre-life changing event. He was exceptionally average and bland. And post-life changing event. He is filled with remorse. So we don't know exactly what he's supposed to be arcing towards. There is a lot of flat, gee whiz sort of exposition dumps as Corby learns that the carceral system is racist and awful, and that settlers treated indigenous people horrifically. It felt very clunky, and came up in such a way that it felt like we were being lectured about something that I think a lot of Lamb's core audience is aware of. I also did not like the way Corby's wife as a character was handled. Her personality traits, teacher and nag. Even though she had every right to react the way she was, and then the ending, I literally flopped onto my couch with exasperation. I can't even get started in here and don't want to have spoilers, but it felt cheap. Overall, this gets a 3-star for me because it was compulsively readable and there were some parts that got me worked up with general injustice. But I also didn't feel like this moved any needles in any of the topics this book tried to broach. And something about it just felt flat, even with several terrible things happening within it. Okay, stopping now. Duan, who has 27 likes, says, thanks to NetGalley and the publisher for an ARC in exchange for honest review. Wow, this was such a tragic, heartbreaking, emotional novel that I could not put down. This is one of those 5-star reads that makes you second guess every other 5-star rating you've ever given because it's so much better. Corby's story will definitely break your heart. Most of this story is from Corby's perspective while he is serving prison time for an unimaginable, unbearable accident that occurs while he is under the influence of Ativan and alcohol. His struggle with addiction as well as his daily struggles with the bullies he encounters in prison are poignant, and I know this book will stay with me for a very long time. Katie B, who has 32 likes, says, I read 2 Wally Lamb books. She's Come Undone and I Know This Much Is True back in the late 90s because Oprah told me to. The original book influencer. Right, I like his writing style, which is why I was eager to get my hands on a copy of his latest novel, The River Is Waiting. Another thought-provoking read that allowed me to experience a wide range of emotions. It's a heavy read. Starting off, I could only manage a chapter a day because it was a lot to process. A horrible tragedy occurs at the beginning of the book and it's the main character's fault. Your blood will boil. It's that bad. As the storyline shifts into a new phase, my tension level thankfully decreased and I was able to settle in better. You are watching a man on a journey and will see the good, bad, and ugly sides. As readers, we all have reasons for picking up a book or deciding to pass. I personally am thankful I stuck with The River Is Waiting. It's not a perfect read and at times I struggled with how the character was written. but I gained something of value from the experience. This character and story are practically begging to be discussed in a book club. Thank you, Mary Sue Rucci Books, for sending me a free advance copy. All thoughts expressed are my honest opinion. Christine, who has 21 likes, says, Corby Ledbetter marries his sweetheart, Emily, and they have twins, Nico and Maisie. Life seems to be perfect until Corby begins to struggle after he loses his job. He starts to drink and take extra anxiety medicine during the day. A horrifying tragedy occurring and forever changes his life and the life of his family. Good book. It is beautifully written and really explores such difficult subjects with thoughtfulness. Very dark, disturbing, and difficult to read at points. Really a deep look into the prison system and what that has to offer or doesn't offer. Issues of different sentences and treatment based on race and economic situations are presented. Wally Lamb has worked in a correctional institution for 2 decades teaching writing, and this clearly shows it is hard to find comfort or solace in a prison where often cruelty prevails. Corby searches to get through and find some light. He is an artist, and through that and the library finds his greatest solace. Yet, can one ever really move forward when you have done something so wrong? Is it possible to put your family back together? All these are questions he frequently confronts, and it is painful to be there with him. Yet, I did find his story real and compelling. The biggest fault I had was with the ending, as it fell flat for me. I think more could have gone into it, and this just left much unsaid. Thank you, NetGalley and Mary Sue Rucci Books, for a copy of this book. I always leave reviews for books I read. Kelly and the Book Bore, who has 129 likes, says, I waited 9 years for this. WTF, I seriously cannot believe Wally Lamb wrote this. Like many women of a certain age, perimenopausal age, to be exact, She's Come Undone was a coming-of-age game-changer of a novel for me, and one that I would never dare to pick up again at the risk of it possibly not standing the test of time. I know this much is true, was a huge winner for me as well, and I have no idea why I haven't ever got around to the hour I first believed, because I own it, perimenopausal brain. Most likely. But this was just terrible. Warning: this will contain a verrrrrrry easy to see coming, so stop reading now. ORSTFU when I spoil things. The story here is about Corby, that stupid effing nickname, and the character's insistence that everyone and their dog immediately call him that. Upon meeting him should have tipped me off this would be awful right away. Who is a super exaggerated, over-the-top permanent victim of a character who got fired from his job, and rather than enjoying the ability to be a stay-at-home dad for he and his wife's young twins, or be actively looking for gainful employment, instead doubles down on day drinking and prescription meds for his anxiety, to the point where one morning he runs over and kills one of the kids with his car. No, I am not spoiler tagging that, because if you are so dense you can't see exactly what is being foreshadowed, then I feel real bad for you. The rest of the book is supposed to be Corby's redemption arc while in prison. But oh my word, is this some painfully bad writing and storytelling. Like bad. Like ChatGPT could have wrote it bad. A 4.68 rating, no way. Do not recommend. Arc provided by NetGalley in exchange for an honest review. Thank you, NetGalley.